The Spartans, feared, revered, and legendary. But if you think they were all about washboard abs, think again. The true strength of Spartans didn't come from the way they looked. It came from the way they lived. In this video, I'm going to uncover the training, nutrition, and mindset that fuels the Spartan spirit. Spoiler, they were even tougher than you think. This is Warriors Reborn, where I break down the training, nutrition, and mindset of warriors throughout history and see how we can apply their philosophies to our own routine. The question today is, how do we stack up to the Spartans of history? Let's get right into it.
Spartans! What is your profession?
When you think of a Spartan, you think oiled up man, washboard abs, big guns, but the reality is actually far more interesting. Shocker number one, they were shorter than you actually think. Skeletal remains put them at 5'7". But don't let their height fool you. These men were built for endurance, agility, and combat. Shocker 2, they weren't shredded gym rats. Long treks, grueling marches, and limited food meant that Spartans simply couldn't stay in a calorie surplus like modern gym goers do. Spartan boys didn't train to look good on the battlefield, they trained to survive one. You see, from the age of 7, they get enrolled into this thing called the emobdy system. Basically, it's a brutal 23-year training program designed to turn them into the perfect soldier, mastering both the physical and scholarly aspects of their lives. In this system, they were focused on everything from hunting and combat training to dancing and rhetoric, all while being deprived of sleep, food, and shelter. This was done both to toughen them up and to instill absolute loyalty to Sparta. Their training had nothing to do with isolation exercises or even compound movements. The idea of their training was purely enduring carrying heavy armor, enduring long marches, and at the end of the day, still being able to endure a fight to the death. I think it's safe to say that Spartan training was absolutely insane. Not only did they train with full sets of armor, shields, and weaponry, they would do all of this under the scorching Greek sun. The emobdy was meant to prepare Spartan boys for the harshnesses and realities of war, all while breeding a competitive drive in both physical and social conventions. This is the thing that they used to define a Spartan citizen, one who had mastered both. One of the most important aspects of Spartan training, as with any warrior training, has to be endurance. Imagine long distance runs or marches carrying a shield, a full set of armor, a spear, and a short sword. All of this weighing about 32 kilograms or 80 pounds. I mean, you can guess how difficult a full day's march and then combat would have been. Now imagine the kind of training they need to go through in order to get prepared for this. Spartans would engage in long marches and races in order to build the stamina that they would need in order to outlast their enemies on the battlefield. So this means that they didn't need just strength, they actually needed the ability to endure exhaustion and, more than anything, keep pushing when their enemies would give up. So the main takeaway from this is, if you think your gym workout is tough, try doing the entire workout with an extra 40 kilograms strapped to your body in the scorching sun. And also, unlike modern day athletes, Spartans couldn't count their macros, calories, protein, fats, and carbs. They couldn't eat to thrive, they had to eat to survive. That was the only case. Their diet was extremely simple, some might even say Spartan-like, even austere. The point was that they couldn't focus on pleasure, they had to focus on practicality. On a daily basis, they'd eat something along the lines of barley, figs, olives, and cheese, and if the situation allowed for it, they'd have a bit of meat. Now that is a far cry from any diet you'd see me on. One of the most infamous meals in their arsenal was the black broth, a mixture of pig's blood, salt, and vinegar. I don't care if that makes me a warrior, I'm not eating that. True, it does sound absolutely disgusting, revolting even, I can't even imagine it. But for the Spartans, it was high in calories and high in iron, perfect to fuel training and battle. Interestingly, unlike modern diets would have you believe, the focus of warriors back in those days had nothing to do with protein from meat. The warriors' focus back in those days was actually more into complex carbs, providing a full day of energy for rigorous training and combat demands. Spartans, in this regard, were trained to be unbreakable, not just physically, but also mentally. From a young age, Spartan boys were taught that their lives belonged to the state. Everything they did was for the glory of Sparta. So then we come back full circle as to why Spartan boys were intentionally underfed. It was so they could steal and learn how to steal and thrive on their own. Survive. More like survive, but the best could also thrive. In this way, they'd learn to be resourceful, but if they were caught, they were punished. Not because they were stealing, but because they were caught. This was the ultimate test in discipline, stealth, and self-reliance. Plutarch, a famous Greek philosopher, famously quoted a Spartan mother for saying, "Either come back with your shield or run it." Now you can imagine what this might do to a child. In today's day and age, we could see that as a negative, perhaps even abuse. However, a warrior's life is not meant to be easy. Spartans didn't fight for themselves. They fought for their city, they fought for their brothers, and they fought for their way of life. This fierce loyalty and their willingness to die for their community and protect what they believed in is what made them truly unstoppable. The challenge today that I've come up with is meant to test your endurance and also your ability to endure discomfort. Remember, Spartans weren't Spartans because they were strong or enduring. They were Spartans because of their mindset. First off is weighted push-ups, something that you can do absolutely anywhere. Perfect for your triceps, for your shoulders, and for your chest. What we'll do here though is add on a bit of weight. 20 kilograms to 32 kilograms is perfect. We're doing 3 sets simply till failure, till your arms can literally no longer hold you up. In between each set, I want you to take a 30-second rest and do a 60-second plank, or once again, as long as you can last. Another 30-second rest, and then back into the weighted push-ups. Then you'll finish with a simple Widowmaker set. Take 65% of your 1 rep max and do about 20 squats with that. The goal is to reach 20, but if you begin tiring out at 12, that's fine. Just make sure you either hit 20 or until failure. Remember, in war and in combat, mindset is everything. It's all up here. If you can push past the barriers up here, you can push past them physically. The lesson we can take from Spartans is very simple, and it's a lesson that we can take from most warriors. What makes the warrior isn't physical, it is mostly, if not all, mental. But that mental can't just be learned, it has to be bred within you. This means enduring hardships, whether you put yourself through them or others put you through them for you. Remember, we train hard so that when the time comes for action, it's easy. Let me know how the challenge went down in the comments, and if you liked the video, hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. You'll be doing me an absolute favor. Also, before I head off, please in the comments as well, let me know what other warrior creed you'd like me to do from history or fantasy. I'll be excited to see your suggestions. Until next time.